Okay, welcome to some fun, gentle yoga to get you oiled up and hopefully knock out some of the cobwebs. Few little things before we start. If it hurts, don't do it. So that's really important. Listen to your body. If it feels kind of interesting, then yeah, that's a really good thing. And just be curious about how things are feeling. Really take care of your own body, and yeah, we should be good. We'll do some stretching stuff. We'll do a little bit of relaxation at the end. So hopefully you just play along, and yeah, let's get started. So firstly, let's just stand and maybe place our hands on our chest and just check in with how we're feeling today. So what does my body feel like? What's my emotional state? Are there bits of my inner life that feel scratchy, or do I feel just really happy? What's going on? And likewise, what's my body feeling like? Is it sore in places? Is it relaxed in places? Is it tense in places? Okay, and then yeah, let's just start by warming up. So we're just going to swing our arms from side to side, just warming up the spine a little bit. Maybe just bouncing the knees a little as we go from side to side. And perhaps one heel, the back heel, just comes up as we swing from side to side. So almost like we're playing golf or tennis or something. So, yeah. And maybe you can fling your arms up in the air and come down. Maybe we can do the other way. So, yeah, side to side, and just gradually letting the lower part of the body quieten, the torso quieten, and finally the head. Coming back to center. So, yeah, I'm nice and warm. Don't know about you. So, let's also warm up the arms a little bit. Let's swing them around. So, windmilling a little bit with the arms. Reaching up, letting them swing. So we're going to really try and find cobwebs in the back and in the shoulders. So perhaps just then rolling shoulders forwards and back, little circles with the shoulders. There, maybe rolling the other way. Okay, great. So now, first bit of yoga looking thing. So let's just wrap our arms, so circling both arms around and wrapping them around each other, so that eventually we can clasp our hand somewhere maybe on the wrist. Might be like that, might be even that we can go all the way around. But don't worry where you can grab. If it's just there, totally fine. It's there. The important thing is that we're feeling nice and open in the back of the shoulders. These shoulder blades feel open. So, wherever you can grab onto, let's just move these wrapped arms around a little bit. So, moving from side to side, maybe reaching up one corner, another corner, reaching across. And then as we reach up, also we can just let go and fall forward. So with the arms still wrapped, just let the knees bend a little bit and be soft in the hips. And then just let go and fold. Folding at the hips, just letting go. Maybe you want to just give out a nice sigh, just like maybe swinging a little bit from side to side, just hanging off that back and the hips. Yeah, giving a good sigh, releasing. So slowly unwrapping the arms, tracing them up the shin, up the knees, up the thighs. Reaching up to the ceiling of the sky, looking up to the sky, and then coming back to center. Great. Now, here's the test. Can you remember which way your arms went? So, was it this way? Was it this way? So whichever way is the other way. So it usually feels weird. So try and go, I think it's this way for me. So wrapping the arms around and then grabbing where you can. And making sure you feel that kind of openness in the back of the shoulders. Yeah, moving from side to side a little bit again, reaching up. Oh, finding these cobwebs in the back. Yeah, and again, just slowly folding the head forward, top of the back, bending at the knees a little bit, bending, folding at the hips, and just letting go again. Yeah, maybe swing from side to side. Where can you find a place where you can just let go and release? Noticing if, as you breathe out, the belly empties out. You've got this space in the hips. Okay, unfolding the arms, tracing up ankles, shin, knee, thigh, belly, eventually reaching up to the sky. And then wide, and then coming back to center. Great. Okay, so we're going to just come down to being on the ground. So find somewhere comfy, and I'll put this out. Make it nice and comfy for me. I'm just going to lie down. lie down, and I'm going to have my knees bent and feet just gently placed on the mat. Hands on belly, just checking the breath, rising and falling. So here, just noticing the silhouette of the body on the mat, on the ground. What feels connected, what feels landed and settled. And perhaps just rolling the back of the head gently from side to side. So enjoying the weight of the back of the head as it rolls. Almost like it wants to roll itself. Sort of enjoying that bowling ball heaviness of the head. It might be that the knees can sway a little as well, but just so that you can check in with this lower back. The lower back and the pelvis. And so can just swaying the knees a little help you to really find the ground, really find how settled you are. The whole of the back. Head, neck, upper back, lower back, pelvis, feet. Gosh. I have to remember I'm doing a yoga class, almost sending myself off. So, now just letting one knee float up and just drawing some circles. So just gently drawing some circles. Very little circles. Maybe some little spirals. Noticing the pelvis, how that connects down. Floating circles with the knee, spirals. Noticing if there are any cranky bits that feel sore or clicky or whatever, right? It's all part of it. Are your circles wobbly? Are they beautiful, smooth, zen-like, perfect circles? Yeah, maybe just then going the other way. A little bit. And then let's try the other side. So, just floating the other knee up. And, yeah, little circles. Connecting down. Pelvis, hip. Yeah, and then this knee. Just drawing some little circles. That's all we're doing. Nothing complicated. Maybe a little bit spiraling. Maybe the other way. Let's go back to the first side. And let's try and draw the biggest circle that we can with this knee. So, can it go far out, wide, and then across the body, getting in the way of the other knee? The other knee has to get out of the way, and just kind of draw really huge circles with this knee. Huge, huge, huge. Huge circles, almost like big ovals, right? Yeah, maybe the other way as well. other side. Huge, huge circles. That standing foot, it's almost like we have to rock onto the edge of that foot as that knee kind of gets out of the way of this huge oval. Noticing clicks, noticing grumpiness in the hips, noticing all that delicious stuff that is our body. Yeah, other way. Okay, yeah, letting go. So, getting there. So, one leg long, and the other leg, we're just going to clasp over the knee where the shin is. So, pointing with the heel of the long leg, and yeah, not really grasping and pushing with this knee and these hands, but just checking with the breath. Okay, so as the breath empties, so then maybe there's some space. Yeah, so almost like this emptying of the breath creates a hollow and a place for the hips to kind of give and relax a little bit. Out breath. Seeing if it can undo and release a little bit. Yeah, let's try the other side. So that leg long, now the other leg, clasping, long leg, heel pointing, and the breath. So just settling and noticing the breath emptying and a place for undoing and releasing. Yeah, ooh, that's good. If we're kind of forcing the body, then the body, yeah, it wants to fight back and protect itself. So if we just try to bully the body into doing what we want it to do, it kind of goes, oh, no. If we encourage and give some space and say, yeah, you can release and you can relax, then it might want to move into that space of relaxation. Okay, so next side, so other side, both knees bent, feet on the ground to start with, and letting one leg float up and foot floating up. And letting that foot now come over onto the thigh. So the ankle is just resting on the thigh there. We create a nice hole, a nice little hole between our legs. So what we're going to do is the side that's bent, we're going to take the same side arm and thread it through that hole, and we're just going to grab behind the thigh. And it might be that you're really like up here and you're like very tight, but where can you let go and can you rest on the mat somewhere? So where is it that you can find some rest in this strange position? So noticing where there are interesting sensations. And spaces to settle down. If this is super boring, then you can then take your hands and bring that over your shin, and that might be a nice place to find some interesting sensations. But normally back here is nice. Settling and letting go. Yeah, and let's try the other side. So undoing and both knees bent and other leg floating up. So foot floating, coming onto top of the thigh, this ankle resting on the thigh, creating a hole. Same side hand that's where the knee's bent. I'm just going to thread that through the hole and grab behind the thigh. And yeah, where are you? Are you? If you're holding on for dear life, saying, oh my God, please make it stop, then maybe it's too much. So it could be that you're kind of coming somewhere here. Where can you come? Where it feels like you can just rest and check in with some interesting sensations. Maybe there's nothing interesting, you can just grab further. See if you can rest there. Okay, let's let that go. Flow. Right. So now this pelvis, let's get this rolling a little bit. So this pelvis is on the ground and we've got feet as well planted on the ground. Now, can we bring some weight into the feet and then let go of weight in the feet? Notice what that does to the rest of the body. Does it do stuff? Does it move about as you bring weight into the feet? Now, just thinking about the pelvis. Maybe the pelvis is moving a little. So can you just make that a little bit more so the pelvis rolls up and down, but without grabbing onto, the front of the belly and all that stuff. Just rolling the pelvis. Maybe you can roll into the lower back so the pelvis floats off the ground a little and then rolls back down. Almost like it is a carpet rolling up. So it's this roll. Maybe that you can roll into the middle of the back as you come up and down. Seeing if you can check in with different bits of the spine, especially as you go down. Perhaps you just let the out breath bring you down to the ground. So rolling up, pelvis rolling back, floating up into the spine, landing with each bit of the spine. maybe you can bring your arms into this. So as you roll up the pelvis, let the arms float up as well. Almost like they're puppet strings, just letting the pelvis float up. It might be that you can float into your shoulders. So all the weight pours back into the shoulder blades, neck long. And then rolling back, letting the arms float back down as the spine connects with the ground. See if you can do that. So the arms floating up, pelvis rolling up, all as one lovely movement. The weight pouring back. And then coming back down, floating back down each bit of the spine. Okay, do a couple more of those, just in your own time. So just floating up into the shoulders, and floating back down each bit of the spine, landing. One last time. So, pelvis rolling, arms floating, spine floating. Rolling back down. Okay. Good. So, arms between the thighs, between the knees, and taking the first two fingers and see if they can wrap around the big toes. So if you can't grab hold of those, then maybe just the shin, that sort of thing. But if you can, that's cool. So grabbing hold of those big toes and letting the legs and the feet float up. Now this is called Happy Baby. And we're like a beautiful little happy baby looking out of our cot, looking up at the sky, looking up at the ceiling. Can we be curious? Move around as a happy baby would. Perhaps, this is where it gets fun, so perhaps we can move our feet over our head a little bit. You decide what's good for you. If that doesn't work, then don't. But can we move our feet over our head? Bring them back. Maybe we can roll a little bit from side to side. Try not to fall over on one side. So you just rolling the feet up, down. Now if that's good enough for you, then just stay there. But if you want to, you can then just roll backwards and forwards in the spine. This may not be available to everybody. It's okay. So, you could just be rolling about, but if you want to, you can roll up into sitting, rolling back. You can get really into it. Like that. But if you're here, that's fine. Just be curious, happy baby. If you're here, or some might be that we're just looking up between the thighs and then resting down. Try not to get yourself out of breath, out of poof. Just can only. Okay, cool. So, enough lying on the back for a while. Let's let's do some stuff with hands and knees. So this is where having a nice soft blanket under the knees, kind of nice, if you like that. And so hands are just roughly under the shoulders, knees just roughly under the thighs. And if you can, just tuck the toes so they're nice and springy. Okay. And just like we were rolling the pelvis, just rolling the pelvis here as well. So it's kind of 1970s disco vibe, rolling the pelvis backwards and forwards. And then perhaps just like as you roll the pelvis forwards, maybe just arch the back at the same time. And as the pelvis rolls back, just letting the back and the spine just rest down. The head can just look towards the pelvis as we roll forward. So we're just, all we're doing, that's too complicated, we're just arching the spine. So arching the spine up, and then looking up towards the top of the mat. Almost like we're looking for fluff in our belly button. And then looking away, looking up to the top of the mat. Don't be tempted to come forward with your chin, and crunching with the back of the neck. I think that just feels like stressy. So just see if you can still be long in the back of the neck as you look towards the top of the mat. So arching, rolling back, releasing. Cool. Okay, so if your wrists feel a bit sore, then just shake them out a little bit. Yeah. And maybe just giving a few circles. And we're going to have another go at something on fours like this. But we're going to take one arm and we're just going to turn it in slightly, about 45 degrees. And this is so that our elbow can bend a little bit. So not straight forward, but one just turned in a little bit. And with the other arm, let the arm float up. You can look to the ceiling. And then we're just going to take that arm and thread it through that gap between the arm that's bent. I'm just reaching through. So, floating up, looking to the ceiling, looking to the sky. Reaching up. And threading through. Reaching through. So I'm trying that a few times. So this is where having a bit more of cushion is good. Be comfy. Okay. So reaching through. So now if you're feeling it, then you can reach through, but then also come down on the shoulder. So rest down on the shoulder. And then this back arm can be like a stabilizer. We can kind of move in and out as we reach through with that reaching hand. And we can come through, up. Yeah. And then as we come through and reach through, we can just rest down. Head can roll. Really reach through. Really feeling where there are any cobwebs. That's the trick, finding the cobwebs. Yeah. And then let's have a go at the other side. So, just going to have both hands placed again under the shoulders. Remember, pointing the standing arm, going to be pointing in about 45 degrees, just so that the elbow can bend a little bit. And then, other hand, floating up, looking up towards that arm, threading through, not being in a rush to go into it loads to start with, just reaching up, threading through. Yeah, when you want to, see if there's more there for you. So it could be that you reach through and let your shoulder just rest down, head rest down, and reach through. And this arm can allow you to just roll about a little bit, finding cobwebs. Reaching up, threading through, resting down. And then just resting a little bit now, so letting go of that, coming into child, which is just resting your head down, arms by the side, and just nothing doing, just resting down. Letting go. Belly filling, empty. Okay, so tucking the toes a little bit, but still resting down, head down, and arms long in front of us. And with these toes all springy, we're just going to take our hands and just stretch forward, reach forward with these fingers, tiptoe forward. So how much can we reach those fingers forward? And then maybe the head will come a little bit forward as well, as we tiptoe the hands forward. Maybe the bum will come up a little bit. So let the bum come as we tiptoe forward. Don't let the bum come up too much, not over where the knees are. So just a little bit. So we're reaching forward and just resting down. Can we just rest the whole of the spine, from the bum all the way down, neck, crown of the head, all the way to the fingertips. Okay, and then just walking the hands back, walking back. Maybe just coming up to kneeling. And yeah, let's just come up to standing now. So, there we go. So, let's get this out of the way. So, hope you're doing okay. yeah, let's do a little bit of standing things. So standing to coming to the ground. So quite a lot of the time when we roll forward, we just roll off like this. What would it be like if we rolled forward but came down into a squat like this? So let's just start. So I'm just going to reach up, reach the arms up, and then come forward, rolling the head forward, shoulders forward, back, rolling, knees bending. And to start with, just the forearms, just kind of hang out on the upper thighs. Just hanging out like this. So we're kind of like, just hanging out. And then now, can we just come further so these elbows come towards the ground, not to the ground, but we're just coming in between the knees. So I'm going to show you like this, coming down. Cool. And then let's come up. So right, so reaching up and then folding forward, shoulders back, hips, knees wide, and just coming down into this squatting. So, can your wrists be down? Can your elbows kind of reach down? Can you just really rest into your hips? You know, wherever that is. Okay. And then what we're going to do is just walk the hands forward so that we're on knees, and walk forward again so that we're in that same place when we were stretching out. So, can we do the whole thing together? So we've got this long stretching out on the mat. Walking the hands back between the knees into this squatting, and then standing up, unfolding as we reach up to the sky. So, all in one go, just rolling forward, down, rolling gently between the knees, and then walking the hands forward so we're long here. Walking back to squatting. Walking the hands up, the shins. Yeah, so we're just like we're walking the hands all the way up, reaching up. One more time. So rolling forward through the knees to squatting, walking the hands down, reaching forward. Okay, cool. So, one last bit of this kind of coming forward and back, forward and back. So, like we were on our all fours like this, but maybe a bit longer. So we're kind of like this. Toes curled, and we're back, resting back, reaching forward with the arms. Yeah, just check this out to start with. So, just come up, elbows bend a little bit. We scoop the body up as we become long in this thing called cobra. So from the legs all long, back of the neck long, and then we just push back and then rest back down. So, do you want to have a go? So, we're nice and long with the arms, head resting down, toes tucked, and we're just going to come forward into all fours, scoop a little bit, and then come up into this long back of the spine. Chest proud, neck long, crown of the head long and noble, like this royal deportment. And then, folding back to the ground. Just have a go at that yourself, just this rolling forward in your own time, scooping. If you want to be more flashy and showing off, just scooping more. So we just go in more. So we dive down. And then come back up. And likewise, if it's too much, then just the sense of scooping, not even doing anything, but just that feeling of scooping forward. Whatever feels interesting, good for you. So keep doing that, just roll forward. When you're in this long spine cobra, proud chest, and softly coming back. Yeah, a couple more times, and then when that's enough for you, just come to sitting. So, I'm gonna grab this so it's nice to sit on. Don't have to. Just going to sit. And to start with, can you find the bones of the bum? So when we sit, sometimes we're sitting kind of like this, right? And to really find a kind of upright and relaxed way of sitting, you need to sometimes maneuver some equipment out of the way. So can we find, by maneuvering this out of the way, maybe just find this bony pelvis that can connect on the ground. And the spine, it might feel strange, but just can the spine then feel like it's stacked simply on this bony pelvis. So it's this one connecting line going all the way up, right from down here, all the way to the crown of the head. So that's our starting point. So let's take one arm and the crook of the elbow, this soft part here, let's wrap that around the top of the knee. So then the wrist comes down and the inside of the shin, we're just grabbing here. So we've just picked up our knee and we're really wrapped our arm around the knee like that. The other hand can come underneath. It's where the edge of that foot is. And just going to rock this baby from side to side. And then maybe we can give it a hug. Maybe a kiss on the head. Maybe smell the other end to see if anything is awry. If you've got lots of space to move, then the crook of the other elbow can come underneath the foot, as long as you're supporting that knee. But normally it's just holding. Normally it's there. And then let the leg just rest down. It could be on the thigh, could be on the calf. And see if you can just be on that bony sitting pelvis. Yeah, and let's grab the other knee. So, the crook of the elbow wraps around the knee and just resting the hand inside edge of the shin. Taking this other hand, just supporting the bottom of the foot, and just rock this twin baby from side to side. Giving it a hug, kiss on the top of the knee, not on the top of the head, sorry. Yeah. And maybe smelling the other end. Yeah. And resting that foot down, sitting. So wherever it can go. So it could be up here, it could be here. As long as the knee feels secure and not in any sort of sense in danger. Okay, so let's do something very flashy. Well, a bit flashy anyway. So that we're still sat. One leg just kind of tucks in. So we're going to be towards this end of the mat. So this foot will tuck in. The other leg will just kind of sit. Stand here. Maybe it can go over the resting knee. And can we just wrap our hands around and see if we can feel tall. So we've got the bony, just one side of the bony pelvis now, but still that sense of feeling tall. So we kind of bring our spine closer towards the knee so that we can feel upright. Okay. And then, can we wrap the opposite arm around the shin and let it rest on the thigh? And then, the belly out of the way, we can look towards the back. And bring this arm towards the mat, just looking over the shoulder. So, not straining in any way. So, this is where the breath comes. So, the out breath. Can it guide you to a sensation that's in the body somewhere, in a place where you can release? It might be that if you can release into it, then it allows you to open up. Towards the back, rotating back. No sense of strain, just resting and releasing. Okay, and let's bring this back arm round, slowly unfolding. Then the other side, so the side that was upright, that's going to tuck in, ankle towards the bump, and then this other foot can come to standing, and maybe it can go over the knee. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. If it does, then great. Then we can gather our arms around the shin, the knee, and see if we can firstly just be tall. So we're on our one side of our pelvis, tall, connected, back of the spine long. And then the opposite side arm now, wrapping around the knee. Arm to, it's hard for you to see it this way, so look this way again. So, wrapping around, so it gathers and just rests on the thigh. Upright. This back arm, just finding the mats behind, and just gently looking over the shoulder, looking towards the back. No straining, just noticing sensations. Can you take the out breath to a place that feels interesting? As the out breath allows you to settle, can you undo and release? Other places to release to. So, let's undo, let's bring the arm back, let's unfold, unpretzel ourselves, and come to lying, knees bent still. So, just a little bit of a side bending of the spine, just releasing before we relax. So, one leg floating, really tall, floating up to the ceiling. Reaching over the knee, still pointing to the ceiling, reaching over, and can then it just fold and flop over the knee. The arms long out from the torso, and then this knee that folded over the other knee can it just go in the same direction and just rest down towards the ground? So I'm just rotating over. Now, the head can be free and rolling. Maybe it wants to rotate and roll the other way. It's to where the knees are. Resting down. Coming back, so rotating, bring the knees back to the center, head back to center, unfolding, and scooch over a little bit. Let the other leg float up, floating up to the ceiling, pointing over, floating over the knee, and then letting it fold and flop over the knee. Continuing in the same direction, let it just rest down, wherever it wants to rest down. Arms long. Shoulders settled wherever they can settle. Breath allowing you just to rest. So, bring back, coming back to center. And letting the legs be long, finding a place where you can be really comfy for a while. So maybe having a blanket that's nice and soft on the head. And just resting long on the mat. Arms a little away from the torso, so you've got these open armpits. Hands, palms palms just facing the ceiling. Yeah, maybe wobbling the feet a little from side to side, just to allow it all to settle down. And we just spend a little bit of time with our body in stillness. So, firstly, just the belly rising and falling. Naturally, without adding anything extra. Just what does the belly do? Gently closing the eyes. The breath in the nostrils, opening, receiving breath through the nostrils and releasing breath through the nostrils. Noticing the temperature of the breath as it's received, and the temperature as it's released. Now bring your attention to the toes. Bring your attention to the big toes. All of your awareness just being with the big toes. Now all of the toes. The soles of the feet. The heels of the feet. The tops of the feet. The ankles, shins, calves, awareness rising to the knees, the thighs, pelvis, and the bum. Lower back, the middle of the back, the upper back, and the shoulder blades. The shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, forearms, wrists, thumbs, first fingers, middle finger, ring fingers, little finger, backs of the hands, palms of the hands, the whole hands, the back of the neck, the back of the head, heavy on the mat, the ears, awareness rising up to the crown of the head, the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes heavy in their sockets, the cheeks soft, the jaw soft, tongue soft, lips soft. The breath coming in, going out. And now bring your attention to the sound of the bell, just following the sound of the bell as it drifts into silence. Following the sound of the bell as it blends with the sounds in the room, following the sound of the bell. Checking in with your body, checking in with sensations, breath. And when the time's right, just maybe bring some life into the fingers, into the toes. Maybe bring some life into the breath, breathing a little deeper. When the time's right, moving about in whichever way feels good for you. And perhaps just rolling onto one side, hanging out for a little bit in your own time. Whenever you want to come up to sitting and finish it. No rush. So, thank you very much, guys.